The first day takes me from Kansas City all the way to the western slopes of Colorado. In all, I'm going to have to drive over 1,000 miles just to get to the beginning of our trip in Moab. I'll break up the trip by staying at my #1 favorite abandoned state park. I'll pick up G in Keystone, then set up camp on the edge of the Grand Mesa just off Land Ends Road. There, we will enjoy spectacular views. The journey begins. Welcome to the former Bonnie Lake State Park, where buildings have been abandoned. Boat docks rest on dry ground, and amphitheaters have fallen silent. This park, once a popular escape and productive fishery, fell prey to politics and farming. In December 1942, Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado signed the Republican River Compact. In 1998, the state of Kansas filed suit of violation of the agreement. As a result, Colorado was forced to drain Bonnie Lake in 2011.
Hello, welcome to the Grand Mesa, Colorado. We're being pursued. If you look out this way, it's Grand Junction, Palisade, kind of an agricultural area, but this is essentially where the Western Rockies kind of end. There's this enormous mesa area that just drops off into this big valley, and it's just beautiful. Unique landscape for sure. Utah's over that way. This trip is combining a lot of my favorite things, I guess. Southeast Utah, I love it. Canyonlands, more specifically, I love it. And even more specifically than that, the Mesa District.
Right now, we are in heaven. I can't think of a place that I'd rather be right now. Never been on the western slope before. Never spent any time out here, and it's beautiful. It's a totally different experience than it is from the Front Range. And we're overlooking the future. It's like we've got this campsite that's up on the top of a mesa, and we're looking over towards Mount Waz and the Domingo Escalante and the things we're doing tomorrow.
The Mesa District, which has always been a fascination for me. Ever since I think the first time I read about it might have been in the Monkey Wrench Gang, where Hayduke, the character, fled into the maze to elude the authorities or to avoid the authorities, and he was never to be seen from again. So that had a really special appeal to me.
You know, this trip was never on my radar. You know, we came out to the Canyonlands a couple years ago, and we floated the green, and that was insane. It was like floating on a river in Mars or something like that. It was crazy. This trip is a lot different. This trip is going to be overland. It's going to probably put my skills to the test on driving, because David's going to be able to handle it. His Jeep is tweaked and ready to go, and he's been doing this his entire life. I've got a Mambo Jumbo huge truck that's going to be dragging everywhere. And you know, as I talk about challenges, I guess my biggest challenge of this trip, beyond just getting through it, is going to be the documentation of the trip. Because when you're on a trip like this, you're here to unwind and to relax. And it's really like a job to video it and take the time. And everybody's here to do the same thing. So to get 4 guys that are able to get the enjoyment out and document at the same time, and we're not documenting it for YouTube or for whatever, we're documenting it for our families so that they can see it. So I think for me, it's a labor of love. For these guys, I think they enjoy it. I think they enjoy showing it to their families. But I think it's going to be tougher for them to take the time because they all need to unwind as well. No, I think fuel is probably the biggest concern. I know it's David's biggest concern. Fuel is going to be an issue on this trip. I can pack on 36 gallons, 600 miles worth at highway, and I got an extra 5-gallon Jerry. So, you know, I can have a lot of range. David's a Ruby, not the same. He's got like a 16-gallon tank, and he's bringing like 10, 13 gallons of fuel. So, yeah, he's also bringing a siphon hose to take it out of my truck. But we've just decided that when we get to half a tank, that's it. We turn around. We start heading back to fuel. So it's that simple.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I really appreciate my my friends and brothers allowing this indulgence to get me out there.
Can't wait to see David tomorrow. Haven't seen that guy in too long, so it's going to be fun to see David. And yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to this trip.